In a small, forgotten town surrounded by dense forests, there was a legend known to every local. They called it the Whispering Woods, a place where the trees seemed to murmur secrets, where shadows danced even without light, and where those who entered often never returned. Eleanor was a skeptic. Having grown up in the nearby city, she dismissed the tales as mere superstitions. So, when she inherited her grandmother's old house on the edge of the town, she thought nothing of the whispering woods that bordered the property. Determined to prove there was nothing to fear, she decided to explore the woods one chilly autumn evening. With her flashlight in hand, Eleanor ventured into the forest. The air grew colder, and the whispers began. At first, she thought it was the wind rustling the leaves, but the murmurs grew louder, more distinct, as if 100 voices were speaking at once. She paused, shining her light in all directions, but saw nothing unusual. Ignoring the eerie feeling creeping up her spine, Eleanor pressed on. The path grew narrower, the trees thicker, and the whispers now seemed to be calling her name. Eleanor, Eleanor. The sound was faint but unmistakable. She stopped again, heart pounding. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice shaky. There was no response, just the relentless whispering. As she continued, she stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cabin she hadn't known existed. Its windows were shattered, and the door hung loosely on its hinges. Curiosity getting the better of her, Eleanor approached and pushed the door open with a creak. The interior was dark and musty, filled with broken furniture and cobwebs. Her flashlight beam revealed strange symbols etched into the walls. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind her, and the whispers grew to a deafening roar. Eleanor's flashlight flickered, casting erratic shadows that seemed to move on their own. Panicked, she rushed to the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers turned into guttural chants, and the temperature plummeted, her breath visible in the air. In the corner of the room, she noticed an old, cracked mirror. As she approached it, the chanting stopped, replaced by a single voice, a voice that sounded eerily like her grandmother's. "Eleanor, you should not have come." She froze, staring at her reflection, which began to change. Her own face twisted into a grotesque, snarling visage, eyes black as coal. She stumbled back, horrified, as the reflection stepped out of the mirror, becoming a solid, malevolent presence before her. "Leave this place!" the doppelganger hissed, its voice a distorted echo of her own. Eleanor, trembling, backed away towards the door. The entity moved closer, its face inches from hers. "You were warned," it whispered before lunging at her. With a surge of adrenaline, Eleanor turned and slammed her shoulder into the door, breaking it open. She sprinted out of the cabin, the whispers now screams chasing her through the woods. Branches clawed at her, roots tripped her, but she didn't stop until she burst out of the trees and onto the safety of her grandmother's property. Gasping for breath, she turned back to the whispering woods. The whispers had ceased, and the forest stood silent, as if nothing had happened. Eleanor never spoke of her experience, but she never ventured into the woods again. The locals noticed her change, the fear in her eyes, and they knew she had encountered what they all dreaded. The Whispering Woods kept its secrets, and Eleanor carried the burden of its terror, forever haunted by the malevolent force she had awakened. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.